Everybody, today I'm going to be showing you how to loosen stick gimbal tension on your Tbs Tango 2. Out of the box, Tbs Tango 2, it comes with some pretty stiff sticks. Personally, I don't like it. It really is all a personal preference. At the end of the day, it's you try it out. If you like it, you go with it. If you don't like it, well, you don't go with it. Anyways, let's get started right into it. So, some of the tools you're going to need is 1.5 millimeter hex driver, some tweezers or something to grab like some wires, a plastic shim. This is used to remove these rubber pieces on the back, and some pliers. So let's get started. Put this all away. First thing what you're going to want to do, as you can see, this is just normal Tbs Tango 2, nothing special about it. First thing what you're going to do is you're going to take this. You can use this, you can use a flathead screwdriver, but I wouldn't advise you to do it, as a flathead screwdriver could damage the plastic on the Tango. So what you're going to want to do is take your plastic shim. I usually go in this corner right here. It's pretty easy to get your tool in there, and you just pinch it in there, and it pops out like that. You see that? Popped out like that. So now what you want to do is just pull it all off, and it should come off relatively easy. So that's one side. Then here you're gonna just remove this. Get your tool in there. Just same thing as the other side. Pull it off. This one gets a little weird, so just wiggle it off, and that's the second one. Next, get your Tango 2 case. It came with the case. When you buy it, it comes in this, and I realized it's actually really nice for working on it. So take your 1.5 millimeter hex driver right there, and you got 6 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those 6 screws hold the back case on, and once you remove all those, you should be able to remove the back case. So, just normal lefty loosey. Okay, now that you got all 6 screws removed, you can go ahead and pick it up. Make sure this is up, and then wiggle off the back plate a little bit. You gotta be careful, it can be a little bit difficult, but you just wiggle it off, and then it should come off like that. Put that aside. Alright, now you're back here. You can see everything. You got the battery, you got the SD card. Okay, you got the battery lead going to the board. You gotta be careful here. Everything is still live, and that's what our next step's about to be, to help us with that. So take your form of pliers, and what you're gonna do is put your pliers right there. Let me get you guys a better view. What you're gonna do is get your pliers right there and wiggle it out loose like that. and boom. The Tango 2 is now, it's no longer live. The wire lead is off. Make sure to remember how this lead went in. You can either take a picture or just write it down or something like that, but it's the red one should be facing up, the black one facing down towards you. You don't want to install this backwards, because if you install it backwards, it won't be good. The Tango 2 does have reverse polarity protection, I believe, but you don't want to be messing with any of that. You could break the connector, you could do it, all sorts of things. Alright, step 2. This battery, it's held on by some Velcro that's surprisingly durable. So I'm gonna show you guys how to remove it. What you gotta do is take this, wiggle it left and right like that. Once you wiggle it enough, then you can kind of peel it, and it'll peel off. This is the battery, as you can see. Nice battery. Got there's the Velcro right there I was talking about. There. So you put this aside. Now we are at the motherboard. You can see everything here. You can see the version motherboard you have. Then you can see I have the version 3 because I have this connector right there. So onto the Tango 2, onto the gimbal tension. Like I said earlier, the sticks, they come out pretty stiff, and personally I don't like that, so I decided to share with you guys how to fix this. So the yaw tension, let's start off with the throttle. So here's the throttle. Here's the throttle tension. Both of these are the throttle. This right here, this one is the yaw. So how strong the yaw tension is. This one right here, this is the pitch. Okay, so that's pitch up and down, you know, like that. And then this right here, this is your roll. So with all these being there, now you guys know where it is. Let me show you what to do. What you're gonna do, I have already loosened these, so I'm not gonna loosen them more, but I'm gonna show you what to do. What you're gonna do is take your 1.5mm hex driver, put it here, and loosen it. Okay, you're not gonna loosen it all the way, because if you loosen it all the way, then you run the risk of having the screw fall out. So you don't want to do that. You want to just loosen it a couple turns, and then you'll see how it feels. So what you can do, you can loosen it, and then what you can do, you pick it up, flip the Tango 2 over, you just hold it like this, and you can feel how it feels. If you like how that feels, then you can leave it there. If you don't like how it feels, you can loosen it a little bit more. But one thing you can't forget is that you cannot loosen it too much. If you loosen it too much, the screw, you'll know it's too loose if you loosen it and the screw is wiggly. If it's like wiggling out of its socket, and it's not good. See here, I have a little bit of wiggle, but if you pull on it, if you move it around like this, you can see it's not falling out, so that's fine. Mine is loosened up pretty well. Next, we're going to do the throttle. This is the throttle one. If you want to have a notch throttle, what you do is you loosen this one up all the way, and you tighten this one down all the way, and you'll have a notch. You'll have more of a notchy throttle. Personally, I don't like notch throttles. I feel like you can't get accurate, throttle holds and stuff. But I believe that's just mostly for like plain guys and stuff like that. So basically, what I did to get a more smoother throttle, a little less harder to push, what I did was I loosened this right here. I take this and you loosen it. You don't have to loosen it a lot. Like I said earlier, you loosen it, then you feel the throttle. If you like how the throttle feels, then you know that you're good. But remember, in case if you do loosen it too much, all you have to do, just line it up with the hole and screw it back in. Just a couple screws. So we got this side covered. Now let's move on to this side. So this one is the right gimbal, the pitch and roll axis. So remember, like I said earlier, This right here is the pitch. This is pitch, and then this one right here is roll. So like that. So same thing as before. Loosen it a little bit, loosen it a couple turns, and then pick it up. See how it feels. Boom, 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 boom. If you like how it feels, leave it there. And then same thing for the roll, or same thing for the pitch. Loosen it up. See how it feels. Make sure it feels nice. I like mine right now, so that's how I'm gonna leave it. And then you're done. Done adjusting your gimbal strength, of course. So now what you're gonna do is make sure that these aren't loose. You're gonna do the double check again. You can use your screwdriver. Make sure it doesn't fall out. Play with it a little bit. Make sure it's all good. Double check this one. Make sure it doesn't fall out. Mine's all good. It should be a little bit wiggly because, you know, it's on a spring, so it's supposed to move back and forth a little bit. Now that you've done that, you're done with the gimbal adjustment, the strength and tension adjustment. So what you're gonna do, take your battery. Remember, what you're gonna do is, as you can see around here, you can see a line that's supposed to show where your battery is supposed to sit. If your battery doesn't sit there, the Tango 2 will have a hard time. The cover, it'll have a hard time sitting on. So you got to make sure that your battery is in line with this line right here. So what you're gonna do is take the line, make sure it's all lined up, give it a couple wiggles. This Velcro, again, I told you it's special. So what you're gonna want to do is, when you're putting it in, give it a couple wiggles. Make sure it locks in. You'll know when it locks in. The first time through it was a little harder, so you just gotta wiggle it in, wiggle it on like that. While you're back here, right here, this rubber grommet thing, that is for a TBS Crossfire. It's for the antenna. While you're here, you might as well take this and give it a good pull. I like to do that just in case if I drop the controller and behind it's a UFL connector. If the UFL connector got loose at all, you can just pull on this and it'll make sure it's nice and tight. Other than that, we should be all good. What you're gonna want to do, take this, line this up, you're gonna plug it in, make sure same way it's plugged in, and that's all. So now what we're gonna want to do is take this out. What you're gonna want to do now is take this out, make sure it's all good, everything's aligned. You're gonna take this, place it on top, and it should fit snugly. It shouldn't have any trouble fitting in down into the screw holes. If there is any trouble, then you gotta probably adjust the battery or make sure everything's lined up. So now that you have this, you can put this back down here, and you can grab all your screws and put them back into the same holes that I pointed to earlier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me get. Alright, now that we got all the screws in, what you're going to do, pick this up, you can set that off to the side, line up the notches, the tabs, and you may just push it in. All the tabs should fit in. If they have trouble, you can take your little tool and just push it down like that. Push it in. Same thing with here, you may do this and push it down like that. And it all should click in. Same thing with here, push it in, push it down like that, and it all should click right in. Alright. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Now your sticks are nice and loose. They feel fresh. They're feeling good. Thanks for watching. Again, if you guys have any questions, please let me know. Like and subscribe.